Talking Taps. Oh, wait, should we do that again? 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the first episode of Talking Taps. Today, I'm going to do a full introduction, actually. We're out to do things one-on-one these days. We don't have to use Zoom, which makes a difference. We have an exclusive interview, ladies and gents, and everything in between. I am joined... by the way, I'm reading this off my laptop because I don't prepare for these things. Rehearse. I don't rehearse. I don't.
We're improvisers.
Exactly. But I want to say this just to make sure I get it right. I'm joined by not only a friend of, 16 years now? Something like that?
16, 17.
I think it's been 17 years.
Yeah.
The pandemic took out 2, where I just don't remember any of it. But also colleague, co-creator, artist, mentor, on occasions drinking buddy.
Yeah, all right.
And today is also my guest, Lee Payne. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much for that.
All right.
Beautiful introduction.
We're not doing product placement. We just happen to be drinking Coca-Cola. There's no product placement. Not sponsored. Just for the record. It's just really hot out, so we are drinking Coca-Cola. All right. It's going to upset some people. So I want to start by saying, actually, what I sort of personally love about your tap dancing is the sense of fun and spontaneity that you bring to the table, to the floor, and to... Well, that's kind of you as a person, right, as well.
I try to be, I guess.
I'm looking at my notes here.
No worries.
So, actually, personally, for me, I felt like sort of with everybody else that I met up until meeting you, the gate was fairly closed. That's not strictly true, but jamming and trading became a different experience for me when I met you. And there was just that sense of openness and that sense of like having fun, rather than the sense of trying to almost like, I don't know, conquer or get one over on somebody. Do you know what I mean? And so I do have some questions lined up. I just want to, sing your praises for a couple of seconds. Yeah, it was just that kind of vibe thing, and that fun attitude I've tried to sort of carry over into into my approach as well. As I saw that, and I was like, yeah, I want a piece of that. So I want to ask you. Let's just go back to the beginning. What was it that ignited the spark for you?
The original first spark for me was I was in Germany, and I think it was a holiday or something, because me, my brother and my dad, we were just lounging around. At this particular time, I was very much martial artist. At 4 years old, I already knew I wanted to be Jackie Chan.
Yeah, you want to hit stuff.
That's it. Well, basically, typical boy at that age.
Same as Tap, we just started beating up the floor instead.
That's it. And my brother was watching Stormy Weather, and that famous scene with the Nicholas brothers came on. And
such a scene. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it is that quintessential dance scene. Back in the day when people thought it was okay to jump off a balcony over your brother into the step below and go into splits and just keep doing that.
And this is what we do.
6 hip replacements later.
And I think literally it caught me straight away from the beginning, from Cab Calloway singing and the music and hearing the drums and the horns and everything kicking in to them. Cab singing, and then the Nicholas brothers came, and when they stepped up and started, and I just heard, what is that sound coming from that feet? And what my dad said to me actually the other day, he said, I still remember you saying, what was the sound coming from their feet? Which for me meant a lot, that I'd already had such appreciation for the art of tap dancing, because it wasn't, what's that noise? that everybody says, "Oh, you make great noise with your feet," and it's I mean, yes, it's nice. It's well-made noise. Quote. So quick plug.
Allmadenoise.com.
You could pay me later. But it was this sound that I found enriching and just drawing me in. And I watched the whole thing. Turned around to my dad. I said, "I want to do that," and that's where it began. And after that, there were just no classes that did anything like what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's interesting. So a lot of people saw that clip and had their minds blown, including me. So you saw them when you were 4 years old.
Yeah.
You started taking class.
I started taking class and I got kicked out after the second day.
Why did they kick you out?
Because I couldn't keep my arm still. I couldn't do
the regimented stuff.
The regimented parallel.
Right. So
I was too busy being free. And
yeah. So my experience is similar. I just couldn't stand still. For tap dancers, I think it becomes a kind of early on. Becomes a kind of ADHD type thing, a dysfunctional thing, an inability to listen to what anybody's telling you and just explore that fun of exploration.
Exactly.
And that was really kind of missing in the education in England for tap.
Definitely.
That part of it was really stunted in a way. Obviously there's a difference here between your path as a tap dancer versus somebody who is able to work in show business.
Yeah.
And it's sort of trying to make those two paths meet, because like for instance, you were on Riverdance for how long was it?
I was on Riverdance for 11 years.
11 years. So for those of you who haven't seen Trading Taps in Riverdance, which is a Tariq Winston, we know Tariq, right?
Yeah.
A sort of piece of choreography battle, quote unquote.
Yes.
Battle between the Irish dancers and the quote unquote American tappers. But it is a stunning, a stunning moment in sort of, I don't know, show business, I suppose, where improvisational tap actually got put into the spotlight.
Yes.
In a show, in a kind of what is essentially a dance review. That I feel like, you tell me, is Riverdance, what is it, a dance review?
It's actually a story of basically the potato famine, how the lands got riddled and they needed to look for greener pastures, and that's when different people went out, different groups went out to different areas, Spain, America, Russia, to try and find greener pastures to be able to survive, really. And that's pretty much the basic story. I've been in it for 11 years and I still haven't got a clue.
I had no idea that's what Riverdance was about. I just thought it was a bunch of Irish dancing.
This is what someone told me. And it's funny, all the way through, there's a soundtrack going on.
Yeah.
But because I'm not on till the second half, it's the longest number in the show.
Man, that's a lot of waiting about.
Yeah, well...
And then suddenly being on.
Yeah, but the good thing is, for myself, when I first started, I came from a very traditional ISTD background, but quietly in the background, working on my own stuff, trying to work on improvisation. So, going into Riverdance, I would say, a tap dancer. I wasn't a hoofer. So to speak, because I didn't have the accessibility options to be able to go and take class with all the greats and all the people that have the knowledge, and being of the age I am, technology slowly, there's something called YouTube and going through that mode and then starting to look up. And so for me, my process was a lot slower. So before I started to get into grooving, improvisational, learning how to communicate with other tap dancers through the music, I wasn't. I was 24, 25 when I began really getting into it and switching, and yeah, it took a while. So at the beginning, I was just straight tap dancing, but I had the opportunity to learn from other American tap dancers that came into the show. One especially, Walter Freeman. I call him my tap guru because
Walter was fantastic.
yeah,
I met him once or twice backstage.
he really taught me how to slow down, settle, just allow the music to come in. And he said, find one song and dance to it for a whole month whilst we're on tour. And I did. And then there was just a point where it clicked. And it was like I could start hearing the music. I could start breaking the music down and start hearing like the bass and just listening to the bass track.
For the full conversation with Lee Payne, visit patreon.com/thetapdanceteacher.